We got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers, a game that I've actually been looking forward to for a while because I've been saying all season that for me, the second best team in this division is the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, a lot of people have been saying the Chargers are the second best team in this division. With respect to Denver, the Chargers just blew it against the Denver Broncos, which is unfortunate. But I think these two teams match up very interestingly. Obviously, the Chargers defense is good. You got a Raiders team that just wants to bludgeon you, which they did 31 carries against the Cleveland Browns. That's why they won the game. Can the Chargers defense stop and hold back the Raiders running game? We'll see. I think it's going to be close enough that it's going to be interesting. Let me hit you with projections here. David, I almost said David. Derek Carr is a start. Josh Jacobs is a start thanks to volume. I stay away from the receivers. They start Darren Waller. For the Chargers, I think Herbert is a start every week. Lock him in against this defense. And I think the Raiders defense does a nice job against deep passing, but I still think the Chargers will get some in. Start Herbert. Start Justin Jackson. He is probably the better fantasy. Would you agree with that, David? You think Justin Jackson is definitely the better fantasy option than Joshua Kelly at this point?
Yeah, we can victory lap that one, especially you. I was a little bit timid. We talked about Justin Jackson earlier in the year. You doubled down on it.
I doubled down.
When Eckler went down, he said, I'm doubling down. He's going to be better than Josh Kelly. Congrats, Sean. You were right.
Well, we'll see about what happens with Pope there because he was impressive in his carries too. I'll let you kind of run with that one. Keenan Allen, dude, he gets volume. I like him. Chargers fans were a little upset to begin the season. I didn't like him with Tyrod Taylor. I didn't like the way the games matched up. Love him. I love him with Justin Herbert, so he's a start for me. Mike Williams, man, he's got some juice. I like what he's doing. They're finally hitting him. I've been talking about his potential for about 7 years now. 8 years, 9 years, 30-something years. I've been in the womb. I've been hearing about Mike freaking Williams, but finally he's putting it on the field, so I like that. I stay away from tight end there. It's a little bit too murky for me. Anyway, take it away, David.
I'll start with Troy Pope because what do you even think about that? Who saw that coming?
Who saw that coming? He looked good, though.
He did look good, and in a redraft, there's zero interest whatsoever. You have both Kelly and Jackson, then Eckler coming back.
Yeah.
But you talk about deep dynasty leagues and what's out there at running back, you can't even find like third stringers most of the time. So when you see a guy get 10 carries and take him for 70 yards, you should be prioritizing Troy Pope and just see. Who knows? Maybe he becomes something, but there's upside in any running back who can be efficient and catch the ball. On the other side of the field, oh my God, the Raiders! I gotta make a little bit of a point here because I gotta think I'm not the only one who was let down by this Raiders and Browns matchup this past week, especially in DFS. Had Kareem Hunt and Josh Jacobs in many lineups.
Yeah.
Thought this was going to be a high-scoring game. Two crap defenses. It didn't materialize at all. And I think it's making sense to me. Maybe hindsight's 20/20. We have two run-heavy teams who are facing off in the Cleveland Browns and the Oakland Raiders. Two teams who want to establish the run against, frankly, two opposite teams who couldn't really stop the run very well. And what did that end up happening? What was the result? I don't know if you guys were watching Red Zone at all. This game was almost over while the other games were in.
I know, it's driving me crazy.
Left in the third quarter. It just flew by. They weren't passing the ball. There was no incomplete. They were running the ball up the gut every time, running 40 seconds off the clock.
What was the winds? It was gale force winds.
It was windy.
Windy.
Still.
I don't even know that. I think there was less wind in the freaking Wizard of Oz at the start of that movie than. Did you see that field goal attempt by Carlson? I mean, that dude like kicked it 10 yards that way and he missed it about 6 yards that way. It just, I've never seen it. It's like a spitball. So
That's
like,
fair. But Derek Carr's not a deep ball passer.
You're right.
You would think that the passing attempts would have been higher than 24 and even Mayfield 25. I mean, maybe the wind was. I mean, absolutely, the wind was part of it. But I don't know how much it was wind and how much it was running. But I'll tell you what, the next time two run-heavy teams face off against each other, I'm lowering my expectations a little bit on the amount of plays that are going to be run, the amount of touches that can be had. Because the game goes by so gosh darn fast.
I really regret, and this is the dumbest thing of people that make picks, I very seriously regret not betting the under in this game because I knew the weather was going to be brutal. And, you know, and the whole reason the Raiders win, and this is what I say about the Raiders, I compliment them every week. John Gruden, and it's something you can look back in the 30-something years I've been watching football. Every team that does this ends up being a winning football team. Patient with the run. And what did the Browns do? The Browns want to run, right? And so what do? They give Kareem Hunt 14 carries. Gets over 4 yards per carry. 14 carries. And then the Browns were trying to push the ball a little bit more up the field. What do the Raiders do? They come out, they run with Josh Jacobs 31 times. That's what you do to win a game like that. And then you look at Derek Carr's passing numbers, and I do think Carr is a better quarterback than Mayfield, so that's not surprising. But look what his passing was. His leading receivers are running backs and basically short yardage guys. You got Waller, you got this. It was ball control. When they put the ball in the air, it was quick passes where the wind couldn't blow the ball, 15 yards off it. Look, this is what the Raiders do. They're really well coached. They're smart. They have great game plans every single week. And you look at the Chargers, by the way, I think they're in the antithesis of that. So I don't like Lynn. I've never been a buyer on him. Now they got a quarterback, so I think Lynn probably gets another season next year. But honestly, I would move on from Lynn. But I don't hate the offense. I think that actually the offensive coordinator is doing a pretty good job there. Every time I look at the Chargers, I feel disappointment when I look at that coaching staff. I don't know that a Chargers fan.
He could turn into a great coach. He could be the greatest coach ever. He will never be able to wipe that stain off of sticking by Tyrod Taylor and continuing to badmouth Justin Herbert after about 2-3 games of just superstar play. You're never going to clear that off your record, Anthony Lynn. I don't know what the hell you were thinking. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. That was pretty obvious to everybody, I think, was watching that Herbert train had left the station. He was the guy. So I was glad to see that they never actually tried to put Taylor back in.
How do you believe in a guy who talks about his superstar quarterback like that? How do you believe in him as a leader for your franchise? You can't. You cannot.
To be fair, I didn't believe in him before that. So, it's just another nail in the coffin for me. But anyway, let me hit you with the line here. We got Vegas plus 1.5, according to Bovada, versus the Chargers on the road. The Chargers at home. Who do you got?
It feels the Chargers keep finding a way to lose, but I don't feel like Vegas can stop Justin Herbert in the passing game. And I feel like the Chargers are due for a win. What's the Chargers' record right now?
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel that same thing.
Their offense is playing too well for them to continue losing. And I just feel like it's a good spot for Justin Herbert to have another big, big game. But again, it's the Raiders, and you're right. I probably underrate them perennially throughout the year.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, the Raiders, when Abram is in the lineup, the Raiders are okay in their pass defense. And I'm saying, I stress okay in their pass defense. And they're okay in the running game. They're a defense that's getting better. I mean, they were Swiss cheese last year. They're better this year. But it's just one of these division things. I don't know what the hell to do with it, to be honest with you. I think that the Raiders are better coached, and it's not that big of a line. So I'll take the points here, and I'll take the Raiders to cover the spread.
This feels like a trap, though.
It feels like a trap to me. That's what gives me concern. But let me say this: I've been high on the Raiders all year, and I predicted before the season that they would grab the 7th seed in the playoffs. If they are that good, and I'm right, then this is a game they got to win. So I'm gonna double down on it, but this is a game that the Raiders, I think, probably should win if they're... Well, I don't even say that, man. It just feels like a trap all around, man. I'm scared of this one, but I am going to take the Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders. Raiders fans, Chargers fans, comment below. Give me your score predictions. Anyway, next game on the list.